What was it about Weigman that you sort of identified that he could fit what you want to do, and you could go out and get him?
Oh, I had a little bit of history with him. I actually coached his dad at St. Houston State. He was a linebacker for us when I was there in the early 90s. But that wasn't the primary reason. We signed him. We signed him because he's a darn good quarterback. It was interesting. I went to the Peach Bowl and watched Arizona State and Texas play, and Jimbo Fisher was sitting next to me for a lot of the events that I was there for a couple days, and boy, he and his wife couldn't say enough great things about Connor and what he did for them over at A&M. So we're excited to see him come in and compete this spring and show us those things here at the University of Houston.
Is he healthy, Connor?
Yes.
Outside of just his talent, what does he bring you guys as a program?
Well, he started a bunch of ball games, played a bunch of high quality games, and he's been there, done that. It's not going to be something where he's going to have wide eyes. The first time he goes into, we still call it TDECU Stadium for a little while. All right, so he's not going to get intimidated by going in or going and playing in a hostile environment. So he's got a lot of proven game experience.
Why did you choose PJ Hall?
PJ played for me at Tulane. Started almost 4 years for us. He just I know a lot about him. I recruited him. We have a deal we call the list. All right, where if a guy is late to breakfast, lunch, he doesn't, he's late to class, he misses a tutoring appointment, weight room, he doesn't clean his locker properly. There's hundreds of things on that list, and him and his roommate were never on the list for 4 years. Roommate was Darnell Mooney, plays with the Falcons, and those two guys just did everything right. He was a really intelligent student, which doesn't always carry over to being an intelligent football player, but he was a 3-point plus student, and he was a 4.0 as a football player. Then I checked it with some people who worked with him. I had the Bell brothers and worked with him at Baylor. They couldn't say enough great things about him. I had a guy that worked for me that worked with him, and couldn't say enough great things about him. And I'm good friends with Todd Whitten, the head coach at Tarleton. And Todd didn't want to lose him, but he just said he was outstanding. So, that was kind of a slam dunk. The job was never really open after it opened up. It was a pretty quick hire.
Were you involved in the SFA game being on Thursday?
A little bit. They asked me if that would be all right with me. I thought it would be. There's some things, I guess, going on in the city on Saturday. I kind of keep myself out of it, to be honest with you.
Is there a benefit to you to play on Thursday?
I don't know if there is or there isn't. I do think early in the season, there's a lot of excitement with college football beginning, and I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to get a ton of students out, to the ball game, and then also if there are a lot of things going on in the city, I'll tell you a funny story. They told me that Eddie was explaining to Nunez, and he kept talking about the weekend, and I thought he was talking about Friday, Saturday, the weekend. But I guess there's a musical performer called The Weeknd, and he's actually performing in Houston that day. So I'm a little out of it. And I heard he's very, very popular. I should have known who the heck he was, but I didn't.